There you go. I see you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'd like to call this meeting to order at this time. Once again, today is Monday, August the 4th, 2025. We are here for our work session in the Honorable Mary Jo Haywood Council Chamber. And at this time, I would like to welcome all of our citizens and all those who are watching us on the live stream. And once again, I'd like to welcome our council members to tonight's work session. At this time, we're going to go ahead and get started with our agenda for tonight. We would like to get an approval of the agenda for tonight.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Any comments, discussion? All those in favor? All right. Motion has been approved and the agenda has been approved at this time. We're going to move right along on the agenda for tonight. We do have a speaker appearance. And at this time, we have Mr. Justin Wesley. If you don't mind, you can come up and state your name, and you have 3 minutes to deliver whatever you need to deliver.
And I also add, I do think he'll be speaking on 5. So it's up to you, wherever.
And give about 15 minutes out of next with me. We can kind of.
We'll just keep it at 5. At 5. So he'll be speaking on top of this.
Okay.
So he'll prefer to just give that update in that area.
If you want to, we can go ahead and do it now.
But I think you're still waiting on reps to get here, right?
Oh, you're waiting on some reps, okay. All right, well, we'll hold off and we'll get that at action item, well, discussion item number 5 then, okay? We'll give you that opportunity. All right, any other speaker appearance for tonight?
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
My name is Calvin Owens, District 2 resident. I got 3 minutes, so I'll talk real fast. Looking at the agenda tonight, I am concerned about some of the items that are proposed. Councilmember Rain wants to discuss stormwater fees. Not too long ago, the city's first T-SPLOST program was created through referendum for the first time in Canoga's history. Per the old stormwater fee ordinance, specifically section 654, you can only use stormwater fees and stormwater maintenance for stormwater maintenance. T-SPLOST solves that problem, everybody. Stormwater fee revenue is budgeted roughly at $200,000 per year. T-SPLOST revenue for drainage is estimated at over $2 million per year. So council, that's just food for thought as you discuss that later today. Also, the council member wants to discuss the Electric Cities of Georgia rate study. For those that don't know, that translates to whether or not we should raise utility rates here in the city, specifically your light bill. We had a study that was done a couple of years ago, and that study suggested that we should raise rates. But the majority of the council said, no, we will not raise rates. In fact, we made a decision to start sharing the refunds with the citizens of this city. So the question is, why discuss raising rates when the city receives record refunds every year? The city is fine financially, but you do need innovative ideas and future growth. We need leaders who are prepared to think outside the box and anticipate future growth. As a city, we cannot raise fees and tax our way to prosperity. It's time to roll up our sleeves and get to work with fresh and new ideas. And with all due respect, Councilman Palmer wants to talk about the URA. As the critical infrastructure in our city continues to face challenges, you can go outside today and you'll see cones almost in every street with these road cuts. We got problems above and below ground, devoting precious legislative time on an issue that has already been settled. Makes no sense, respectfully. The funding for the URA was provided by the city council, discussed, voted on, and approved. Everything the URA does is a matter of public record. It's open for everybody. An official report for the city council is due on March 31, 2026. There's no physical report per se because it's not due until next year. But the information you're looking for is in the expenditure report that will outline what projects were funded. You can get this information today with an open records request. But speaking generically about the work of the URA, and to finish up, speaking generically about the work of the URA, the gem on tonight's agenda, the URA started that and owns it. The URA, the upgrades at the depot, the URA. The upgrades at the stadium, the URA. Management of the resource center that feeds 200 of our kids every single day, the URA. Beautification at the cemetery, the URA. Innovative downtown development, the URA. The URA has been extremely active in this city. And lastly, council, we're going to hear about the gym tonight, and we're going to hear about some exciting stuff happening at the stadium. These are both economic development tools. We need a modern hotel to accommodate the new visitors we're going to get. That gym is going to be used for various tournaments, basketball, wrestling, the whole nine. We need a modern hotel to accommodate the new visitors to this city. So, council, I just wanted to point that out. Appreciate the time to speak, and I'll stand down and let the meeting continue. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right, any other speaker appearance at this time? Any other speaker appearance? Okay. Hearing none, we're going to move right along on our agenda for tonight. As of right now, we don't have any action items, but we're going to go down to our discussion items, which is first is the gymnasium bid recommendation from York and Associates. We have online with us tonight Mr. Jim and his colleague tonight. They will be sharing some information pertaining the bid and their recommendation. And at this time, Jim, we'd like to turn it over to you and your guest there. I think you're muted right now. Okay. Can you hear us? We can't hear you.
Good evening, Council. Can you hear me okay? This is Teresa York.
Yes, we hear you well, Ms. Teresa.
I hope you're all doing well. All right, so the bid opening this past Friday on July the 25th, we had 6 bidders, and the bids ranging from 5.16 million to 7.095 million, and the average was about 5.9 million. And the low bidder was SC Barker Construction of Valdosta, Georgia, with a grand total bid amount of 5.62 million. And we have reviewed all 6 bid packages. We also had contacted references that were provided by SC Barker, and all 3 of them recommended very highly of SC Barker Construction based on the past performance. And therefore, York and Associates, we recommend that the project be awarded to SC Barker Construction of Valdosta, Georgia, with the grand total amount of 5.162 million. And I also wanted to, you probably have those documents in front of you, which had the base bid, the alternate number 1, alternate number 2, and the grand total. I wanted to explain why we did that. As you're aware, the past several years since after the COVID, construction prices have gone up so high, and based on the escalating cost of construction, we were unsure if the bid would come in within the budget, and so we separate items that could be left out for worst case scenario. And so the base bid was mainly the gymnasium with side parking lot, and then the alternate bid number 1 is the kitchen with all the equipment and the the grease trap, exhaust, and mechanical installation and plumbing as needed for the kitchen. And alternate number 2 is the pagoda shape element. That item is it would be very helpful for the building, since the building is facing south. The afternoon sun will be very hot, and this pagoda will help shade the front part of the building, since it has a lot of glasses in the front, and it would be, an added, a beautiful item added to the building as well. And so I understand that the bond was 5.1 million, so the project is within the amount that was budgeted for. Let's see, did you all have any questions for us?
Council, is there any questions? Hearing none, Ms. Teresa, thank you for all that you all do.
Thank you. Thank you for trusting in us, and we appreciate so much for the opportunity to work with you all. We're very grateful for the opportunity and your trust in us.
All right, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
So at this time, council, what we're going to do is we're going to move this item. If we can get 3 council members want to move this item to be an action item for next week. We just need to show of 3 hands. Okay, all right, that item will show up on our Monday night council meeting. Okay, thank you all for that. Okay, moving right along on our next discussion is discussion with roadway improvement, and Councilman Morgan, you can lead us off into that.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everybody. With the roadway improvements, my intent here is just to discuss how we can prioritize a few areas with potholes, some cracking, and some drainage. Just from our recent report from our year-end update on our budget, I see we do have about 500,000 unallocated T-Splosh funds. So just offering us a chance to address some of these portions immediately. And I have for review North Harney Street pothole. I think we just did some work there. Look like there's a cut, but that's between East Church and Beacon Street. There's a pothole, coming up Ellis Street. This is in between Kennedy Street and MLK. Then let's just take some look at Myra Street, as well, beginning at MLK and up to Thompson Street. So these are just some potholes, recent cuts, but people are just having to swerve and go around these areas. I just want to open up for other council members. If y'all had any additional spot checks?
Yeah, I got one on East Stephen Street, yes, sir. And, just update on y'all, the utility cuts, the company is doing it, they're supposed to be here this week, the weather held them back. Once the lights out, they'll be in, an update on the cemetery as well.
They actually came in today and they're hoping they can come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they're ready and they're gonna start both projects kind of simultaneously, but their intent was to start with the road cuts and the cemetery today, but the weather prevented them from doing that. Potholes, you know what it's called?
So when we talked to them last week, we're gonna give them a supplementary list as well. And also give that to the other ones, give a quote for them for additional road cuts that happen prior to getting the bid for this current action. So we should be able to do that, before they're out of town. So,
That's it for that discussion. If no action needed.
All right. There will be no action needed, that we just follow up with that and, kind of we'll go from there. And if you all, D2 candidates, y'all have any issues, just let Luke know and we'll get that taken care of as well. Okay? All right, thank you very much, Councilman Morgan. Also, we move right along on the agenda, item number 3, utility credits, and Councilman Morgan, with that again.
For this item, I had a chance to speak with our city manager. I just wanted for her to affirm 4 rate areas, just the intended schedule when folks can begin to see the July approved credits on the individuals.
They should all see them on their August bill, depending on what cycle they're on. The cycle 2's already been applied, there was 883 customers that for a total amount of credits, $110,375. Cycle 7 will be applied probably towards the end of this week, and they should see that on their next utility bill.
All right. Thank you for that, City Manager. And also thank you again to Councilman Morgan for that. Any other comments or discussion of that? All right, hearing none, we're going to move right along. We're going to look at number 4, Camilla Police Department Patrol Policy. And Councilman Morgan, we're going to lead off on that again.
So for this one, we did ask for staff leadership to be present, just to give just an update. This is an opportunity for us, public council members as well, just to better understand some of the public safety operations. I think it's important to note back in the fiscal year 2020 through 2021 budget, we approved a continuous amount of training dollars for 21st century community policing. So this update can just help better equip us with responding and thinking about the types of inquiries we sometimes receive from residents when they are inquiring about just presence, just wanting some visibility, but just interested in learning more about the department's current patrol practices, and if there are any gaps or challenges that you all feel we should be aware of too. So we'll just open the floor up now for staff to do that. I did share with council copies of the SOP as it relates to patrol operations, just for our reference, if you reference anything related to that.
All right, we welcome Lieutenant Davis to the podium there, and you can kind of elaborate on your SOP there.
All right, good afternoon. We do provide 24/7 service to the department. We have 2 officers assigned on day shift, and that's 7 days a week. And we have at least 3 on nights, that was supervisor and then 2 other officers. We don't do a routine patrol. In policing, we say there's no such thing as routine patrol. We do random patrol. Our officers, they do ride in a random pattern unless we're having problems in a particular area with thefts or prowlers and such, then we concentrate on those areas. They do log checks periodically with dispatch. At night, on night shift, we have an officer that walks downtown business area, all of the doors, and you'd be surprised how many of the businesses they find open doors at night, and that's a preventive measure for that. And later on at night, between hours about 2 and 6 o'clock at the end of the shift, they check every business in town. They ride, they shine the lights, look for cracked windows, open doors, suspicious people, vehicles and such. Every business, the schools, churches, all of that gets checked every night. Barring that we don't have some major event that pulls us away and ties us up. But, and we respond to all sorts of calls, even if it's not really police matters, snakes in houses. I just went and got a snake out of the house the other night, bats in houses, stuff like that. But we try to provide those services. We got some officers that will tell you they're not gonna pull a snake, they're not gonna catch a bat. Some of us do. We're here around the clock. There's always somebody. People say, they run into us and they say, well, I called the police department, didn't get no answer. I guess y'all closed, don't have anybody. Well, the business number to the police department, of course, it gives you a message to call 911. But there's always somebody on patrol. We have a lot of people that think that at 5 o'clock when the door is locked at the police department, that means there's nobody there. So any other?
I have a quick question. I understand that the flock cameras aren't being used now.
Oh, absolutely.
If you might enlighten us a little bit on that.
It has been a great tool. Really amazed at the number of vehicles that we have coming through Camilla every day with expired registration, suspended registration, no insurance. We get alerts from people that may be wanted or such from other jurisdictions. It's been great. In fact, I'm in charge, being the patrol commander, I'm in charge. I do monthly stats on that, and I did one for the chief just the other night for him on the warnings and citations and cases that we've made just in the first month that it was in service, which was last month, July. And he's got that. I don't have that with me.
Well, that's okay. I wanted to.
But it has been a great asset, and another one is the gunshot detectors. It has been really great.
Wonderful. And thank you.
Thank
for all
God.
that you do.
Email?
Yeah, gunshot over in,
Peach Street area?
Peach Street, Back Street. Gunshot was on Swan too. Never found him about the time.
I think if I remember doing the stats, we did make one case last month off of gunshot detection, and I don't remember the details of it exactly, but it alerts and it comes to our cell phones. We get text messages whenever it comes, and it's within seconds or maybe a couple of minutes, because what that thing does is we've had gunshots go off on the south side of town and have gotten an alert that picks up way up on the north side of town. It's great, it's very sensitive. But what does is each detection for those shots, they have to triangulate the location. And it gives them almost an exact location, I think within like 50 feet. Just a couple weeks ago, we had an alert on Connector Road at MLK. And we thought that it was the Holtons, because they have permission from DNR to try to eliminate some of the deer peanut drops there. But it wasn't. And it pulls up a location on the map, drops a pin. Well, I go out there on Connector Road, just off MLK, and there's 7 rifle shells right in the road, exactly where that pin was dropped. So that is how accurate it is. And so far, every case that we have had, except for one the other night, we have found shell casings or evidence. I mean, there, like I said, it's very accurate, very, very cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Also, Captain Davis, I just want to appreciate everything that you do in the community. But I know you all have the SOPs, and Councilman Morgan stated about the community policing. And just one question is to you is, how do you develop and maintain a good relationship between the police department as well as our community?
Well, again, we do random patrol, and most of our officers, riding around. For example, I grew up here in Mitchell County. I know a lot of people. We try to maintain a personable relationship as good as we can. Now, we do things. Lieutenant Larson started the shop with cop last year, because she is already working on that to do that again this year. I know a couple of years ago, we did the back to school drive here under the oak tree behind the courthouse. We do various events like that throughout the year when we can.
And we also look to see more of that as well as
Yes, sir.
our officers. But we appreciate everything, and thank you for your time for tonight.
Thank y'all.
All right. All right, Councilman Morgan, thank you for that. We're going to move.
Justin's ready.
Okay, hold on one second. We're almost there. Yeah, Councilman Morgan, you have on item number 5, South Georgia Institution, and you can lead off on that as well.
Yes, so for this one, I believe you have reps over South Georgia Institute here, and also Mr. Weston from the Recreation Department, just to share just a little bit about what they're interested in doing.
I'd like to introduce Harry the Husky. Everybody, he's our mascot.
So, again, I'm Justin Leslie, Director of Parks and Rec for Mitchell County. I'm accompanied by Coach Brown, Coach Stevenson, and also Wilson. I'm sorry, long day. And Henry the Husky. So, as a part of my initiative to expand our Parks and Rec and really bring what this city needs, we have created a relationship with South Georgia Institute. This year will be their inaugural football season, and we want to make Camilla the home of the Huskies.
All right.
So, South Georgia Institute is a 2-year college out of Norland Park, looking to build and grow. They want to play their games here and practice here. As part of that relationship, they are actively looking for coaches, volunteers, and recruits. So we're looking to not only make it an attraction to Camilla, but also a pipeline for higher education and coaching.
All right.
So, like I said, we're looking to make this the home of the Huskies. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Question?
Hello, everyone. I'm Coach Brown, the head football coach of the Huskies. So we're a 2-year program in Norland Park that's starting up. You know, what we want to do, I'm all about player development. So we want to develop young men and men on and off the football field. That was all about with us, you know, giving these young guys an opportunity to expand their life and their education. Any questions?
Will the games be on Saturdays?
Yes,
That
ma'am.
is good. I saw y'all had some really good publicity.
Yes, ma'am. The
And,
game will be on Saturday.
Okay,
One Sunday scheduled as well.
Oh, yeah, one Sunday schedule.
okay, awesome.
What are your ages?
From, I think we got one kid 17, but from 18 to about 24, 25.
It's college.
College.
Okay.
Well, technically, we're a JUCO, but we don't use the term JUCO, we're gonna say 2-year college.
2 years.
What division? We in the New South Conference. Right now, we're independent, being our first year up and running, but we in the New South Conference.
So we're looking to make this an ongoing relationship. As their program grows, we want to facilitate an environment for that growth.
All right, I'm Coach Wilson. I'm the assistant head coach there. I came from Charlotte down here, and the biggest thing for me is just pretty much giving these kids an opportunity, to kind of grow, as well as give them another chance to move on to bigger universities, bigger colleges, and things like that. So it's a good opportunity for everybody to enjoy college football on Saturdays, for them to be good influences in the community, as well as us being good mentors, to everyone around as well. So, we take that seriously. We all had good mentors growing up, and without those, we wouldn't have been able to, get 4-year degrees and things like that. So we're just trying to give that instruction and direction and continue to move forward there. So that's what, more or less what we're about while we're here.
All right. All right, well, thank you all for coming tonight, and we do look forward to collaborating and sharing that vision together. Okay.
Okay, so we like to present y'all with a Husky flag and cane banner.
All right.
All right, thank you all. Thank you. All right, thank you. Okay, we're going to move right along on our agenda for tonight, and we're going to be discussing item number 6, Urban Redevelopment Agency, and this will, Councilman Palmer will lead off on this.
Yes, first thing, question. City clerk is the custodian of the documents, for the URA as per the intergovernmental agreement. And several questions that come to light for the under 3-1, the effective date of the document is not clear. It says the date on which the last party fully executed this agreement. But however, there are no dates. What's the document? Pardon? It's 3.4. I'm gonna go with government.
IGA.
But it's not clear as to when the last person signed the document. So therefore, we don't know the exact effective date of this.
Yeah, and it's part of my minutes, I'll give you the minutes that's approved in law. That will be the effective date.
Then it says that the last party to sign is the effective date. The way I've done it in the past, it's got that in there, typically not. You put the date under this person's signature.
Yeah, and legal team, composed this document, so the only thing that I would have to reference back to would be my minutes, and I probably had it signed the night of the meeting, so that will be the effective date. And that would have been in July 2023, I don't really know that.
And it was fully executed at that time. That's what
I would
you're
say
saying.
so, I mean, I get most of my documents signed at the meeting, so.
Other questions were,
Well, actually, it was June, Councilman Palmer, because I see where the, resolution was adopted on June the 12th. So all of these happened in one meeting. They were back to back to back.
so you think June the 12th is the effective
But
date?
I can confirm that for you.
As required by the, urban redevelopment law, on March 31 of each year, the agency shall complete a report of its activities for the preceding calendar year. This is all in the IGA now. Which report shall include a complete financial statement setting forth its assets, liabilities, income, and operating expenses as of the end of such calendar year. Were these documents filed? They should have been filed on March the 31st of 2024 as required. Were they filed?
I do not have a copy of the documents that you're referencing.
It's in the IGA. It's on page 4. Which
I
would
will
be,
refer
item
to
G.
Mayor Pro Tem Burley to see you all in our fairness office.
No, I don't. Go ahead. Dan.
I think what Councilmember Palmer is referring to, again, the URA is required to submit those annual reports, but since it was established, under, 2 years ago, it sounds like, there is essentially like a grace period where, the URA has, newly established URAs have, time to establish and kind of submit those reports. So, in the regular course of business, annual reports are required, but when we're talking about newly established URAs, they kind of have a grace period of, I think, 2 years.
It should have at least been filed on March the 31st of 2025.
It'd be
Did that happen?
2026. Be 2026. March 31st, 2026.
Well, that's not what the document says.
And then in addition to that, Councilman Palmer, if you, and I only because I saw this myself recently, if you go to the Georgia Department of Community Affairs website, there's a link where you can essentially access financial reports for every authority in the state of Georgia. And if you go to the Camilla URA, there's certain authorities, again, the newly established authorities, they have that grace period. It says that their report, you all's report, is URA's report, should I say, is not due until March of 2026. So if there is something in writing on the city level, that on the local level, that might say something different, or that might be in conflict, the requirements and the rules of the state are always going to supersede that. So even, again, as reported on the Department of Community Affairs website, the report is not due until 2026, I believe.
Well, if that's the case, then I think this agreement should be amended or disregarded, because it's clearly states in there that December 31, 2025, there should have been a report.
It should, it's right in the essence that, you know, once you all kind of submit that initial report, I think the agreement just allows for that annual submission and review by city council as well as the DCA. But so I think the language it's appropriate because you're going to need it in place so you all can get those financial reports going forward. It's just that the URA is so new that it hasn't produced its first report yet.
Well, and you know, like I said, if it's gonna be that way, it shouldn't be in the IGA that was signed. You can't have it both ways, it's gotta be one way or the other. So what, Ms. Ford, there have been no financials reported to the city clerk. You're the custodian according to
I
that.
have not seen any.
So there's been nothing that. And also, when that is done, when it's supposed to be done then, but anyway, when it is done, those reports are supposed to be filed in the newspaper, so to apply to agree to the law. According to the agreement, that's what it says. The other thing is the finance, and there were $200,000 put in the URA when it was established. So at the present time, we don't know, how much of that money's left. Maybe all of it, maybe none of it. And if so, what was the extent for? So we don't have any reports. We don't have anything is what you're saying this for.
I do not have any bank documents for GRA.
All right, that's all I've got on that.
I'd just like to add, any of the funds, that have went to URA have came through this council. And I think as it was mentioned earlier, a simple open records request from any member on this council can produce the documents that Councilmember Palmer is asking about. Because all of that is run through the finance department. Now you look.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well, one more question. Before he brings up, we have no report on the 200,000. Then what was the $1 million? There was no purpose that was explained when that was moved also. So, there's $1.2 million sitting somewhere doing something that I don't know what it is.
All right, any other comments pertaining to that? And just as was mentioned earlier by Councilman Morgan, any of us in this council, anyone in this audience can do an open record and find out all of this information that Councilman Palmer is seeking as far as the finance part of that. And we as a council did approve of doing the financial part of this to the URA. So once again, everybody is entitled to that information. Okay, all right. Moving on to item number 7 on our agenda for tonight is annexation requests. And we have Mrs. Ford and not Commissioner, but County Administrator Gary Rice, and he's going to come up and give us a little information on that as well.
Thank you, Dr. Mayor Pro Tem and Councilman. The county is requesting to have 2 different plats annexed into the city. The first one is 261 acres. 281.6, and that is parcel number 8024. And just to give you an idea of where that property is located, this is the property out Highway 37 east of where our jail, the sheriff's department, 911 center, the correctional institution, our public works, and all the way down to our extension services. The reason for that request is that we are looking to build a new courthouse, and state law requires the courthouse to be in the corporate city limits. This request is for you to take that into the corporate city limits. There's no voters involved. We're the only property owner out there that it will affect. It does not create any kind of barriers or islands at all. So that's the first property that we're asking you to annex in. The second one is parcel 8123, and that's 4 acres. And that is currently where the old GFA building, which is Mitchell County Annex, is. And the reasoning is the same on that is that it is designated as a courthouse annex, that in the event we needed to have court there in our chambers, that we could do so legally by state law. And so that's the reason for the request, is to build a new courthouse. We're looking at building it between the jail and the 911 center is where we're looking to build that. We did look at other options with the old courthouse. Some of the things with the old courthouse, one, we know it's landlocked down there. And if you have courts, you have absolutely no parking in the city, seems like. But we were trying to reconfigure it because we've got 3 Superior Court judges now instead of 2 that we used to have. So we're gonna try and get a large courtroom and a small courtroom in there. But due to the weight-bearing walls in there, we couldn't do the reconfiguration the way we needed to. We want to make sure that we can increase security for our law enforcement, for the people on trial, the jurors, the people that are there to see the trials. It was just as we looked through it, it was better for us to try and rebuild than to try and do what we couldn't do downtown. What would we do with the old courthouse? We plan on repurposing it. We've got some county agencies right now that are housed in houses that we would like to be able to get rid of those houses and move them into the old courthouse. There's no plans whatsoever to tear the old courthouse down. It will be used, we talked about the old courtroom, making it a multi-purpose room where if we need to have large meetings or whatever, it would be available. So that's the request. And I'd be glad to answer any questions if you have any.
I got a question. What's the timeline for building it? Have y'all come up with a hard one?
We don't have a hard one. Actually, the bids are due back to us, hopefully, where we can start looking at them on the 12th of August. So when we get a vote, we really try not to get the cart ahead of the horse on this, because if we don't get annexed in, we've got to back up then and either try and find something within the city limits to go up. But we plan on trying to have it one level, so it's a little bit more easy for everyone to access. So if we don't get annexed, we got to back up and punt.
But y'all had plans and all.
We do, yes, sir.
Y'all have put a lot already.
We have, we've done some initial design on it. We've already got an RFP out for an architect to draw it for us. So we're moving forward in hopes that we'll get annexed.
Gary, is all this gonna be behind the county jail, out in that field back there?
Yes, sir, it'll be between the 911 center and the jail. Part of the reasons what we want to do too for putting it there, one of the reasons is that we plan on connecting it to the jail. For prisoner transport, we'll just be able to walk them through the corridor to get them in there a little bit more secure.
You should have that room for parking.
Yes, sir. There's parking on the back and out front. We have room on the back side to do parking as well.
You must have 20, 30 acres back there, so that won't be there.
There's good size back there.
My inquiries, just around the access piece. So it is good to hear that you all are also thinking about using the current admin space for potential activities, and then also just continuing to use the existing historic courthouse as well. Just, I guess, kind of want to put it on record. I know we have held elections in the courthouse in the past. So if the county commissioners will really consider that for the new space, I don't only just disagree with that, and just trying to keep stuff as accessible as possible for folks as well that are using the services.
Councilman Morgan, I think that would be a decision that had to be made then, but like you say, we have had it there before, when we had a lot more activity going on in there. So I don't see if there was something that happened to the early voting location that we just built. If we had to, I think that'd be a very viable option for us to move the voting into the existing courthouse.
Any other comment to Mr. Rice? Mr. Rice, we appreciate your updates. We appreciate everything you shared with us tonight. Very vital for the community.
Right.
Look forward to that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Ford, you had anything? Okay. All right, we're gonna move this to an action item for Monday. Can I get 3 council members that would like to see this as an action item on Monday? Okay. All right, we have 3 members. We'll look forward to getting this taken care of on Monday. Okay. All right, we're down to number 8 of our agenda for tonight, which is stormwater fee discussion. Councilwoman Curry.
Thank you, Mr. Burley. We have discussed and we're in the process of having a study done of 3 target areas in Camilla right now, that we have current drainage issues with. And when we started talking about paying for it, we weren't exactly sure where the money was, and so Cheryl is working on, I think you all received an email about, or I know that I did about, we're trying to track that down, and I just wanted to bring it up, for a discussion with the group. If this $4 a month that customers are paying, if we would be able to just set that aside, and Cheryl, you might can help enlighten, us on this. I don't know if we need a separate account, but we're gonna have some expenses coming with these 3 drainage projects. Probably in addition to what SWAS will cover as well.
And so you saw the email, I did reach out to our CFO, she's my eyeballs in audit and budget, so I haven't got that response. But I'm also doing an internal audit on some of the collections, so I'm not really ready to give you a
And that's fine.
definitive answer, but it's in the works.
But it's in the works, but I just wanted to see if anyone else had any, ideas on how best to set aside that fee.
What are your thoughts about it going forward? Are you?
Well, and I asked for the revenue account and the expenditure account to see what projects have potentially been funded by. This thing goes back to
2017.
2017, okay, so the thing's been collected for quite some time now. I've never asked for, or even thought about where the money was going and what it was being used for, and I have asked at this point, but like I said, she's very busy doing the audit and working on our upcoming budget, so once I get that, it can get it in a format to present it to you, then I will tell y'all.
And plus, I think there have been 4 different people in that position since that time, so I was trying to look for something, excuse me, best practices going forward.
Yeah.
Well, initially, when that was done, purpose was flood mitigation in the city. That was on hold. And we're gonna always have flood issues, because all the water from all around comes through here for whatever reason going to the river. But, the initial idea was that money was to be set aside for that particular purpose, because it was sold to the public that way. So it should be set aside, it should be used for those purposes. That was
It
the
very well
intent.
could be, but until she provides the information that I asked for, I really don't have any way of knowing particularly, because we still got a lot out there that didn't get done. So I'm just curious what we have used the funding for.
Well, I know initially it was used for that purpose, because there were several expensive projects that were done back then, and that money was accumulated and paid for that.
And if I'm not mistaken, if you're looking at the budget, I mean, I think it's either 172 or 192, I can't really see the number in my head right now. What they typically budget in revenues every year from the state. So it's, over 10 years, I mean, it's.
Well, it adds up to a substantial amount of money. All those items, those particular projects are expensive. So, that fee takes a while to accumulate, but it's going to need, it is needed.
And what I'm going to recommend to this council, and as was mentioned in our email, I know the city manager is kind of like investigating this to see where we stand and what we need and what we don't need. Also, I want y'all to also think about, we have T-Splosh as well, and T-Splosh has that drainage and sewage in there as well. So just be mindful of that as our city manager go into her investigation, trying to connect these things together. And then talking with her today, it's a lot of stuff that is out here and out there. So let's give her some time and we can have that discussion later.
Maybe at our next work session.
Yeah, probably then she'll have all the information compiled together and we can kind of move forward from there, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. We're gonna move right along with our agenda tonight. Again, we are at item number 9. And we're at Electrical Cities of Georgia rates day. And Ms. Doreen, it's on you again.
We all had the opportunity to go to a MEAC, which is our electric company conference last month, and one of the classes that I went to was given by this group, Electrical Cities of Georgia. And the purpose of the rate study, is to determine fair and equitable rate structure. For example, you don't want your commercial customers bearing the brunt of expenses, nor do you want your residential customers bearing the brunt of expenses. And in doing a rate study, and I think it takes a few months, I wasn't here the last time it was done. It was done in May of 2023. We would at least have a professional assessment of the rate structure. What I don't know, and Cheryl, you might could help us with this, is what it costs. Do you?
I do not know what it costs, Esley. What I can tell you with ECG is we subscribe to certain, items that they offer for us. Analytical services is one of them. I don't know if, and there's a lot you can choose from, so it's like a menu, so you get analytical services. If we choose to have rates studies, I'm not sure I'll have to pull that conversation.
Okay, well, just if maybe we could maybe, because I'm all about saving money, not spending it. So if this is a service that they might provide to us at minimal cost, it might be something worth looking into, just to make sure that we have a fair and equitable rate structure. That is just what I wanted to share with everyone, and I didn't know if anybody else had anything to add, because you all have, except for Mr. Maples and I, you all have been in this a lot longer than we have, so you may have a better idea of such.
Also, Councilwoman Green, appreciate what you're saying, but also think about our rates now, and every year we're getting back a refund. So if you're getting back a refund, I don't see that there should be a problem.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's a problem at all, I just
So,
I just thought that if it was something that wasn't at any cost, then, just to.
and along that line, I think that study is being done, or have already been done for us to be able to receive the refund. We receive heavy refunds. So, we'll just
Okay, well, I just thought I'd.
consider that as well, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, no other comments on that item? We're gonna move right along to our final item of on the agenda for tonight. Is number 10, Titan Stores extension for remodel and renovation.
I don't believe, Ms. Ford and I had this discussion last week, I don't believe anyone has asked for an extension, but if you look at the locations, some of them are not finished and don't perhaps look like they might be finished in time, so we were just trying to be proactive and discuss among the group if there might be a possibility of extending them. Through no fault of the owner, they're kind of dependent on who's doing the work, and, you know, like the guy was gonna do the work today, it rained, not that that would affect these stores, but I just, in our discussions, we thought it might, be beneficial to these businesses that we're trying to open, not to just cut them off at the end of this month.
And I'm just glad to reach out to them tomorrow, so y'all have to get prepared on that day. Just to see, because I think Gary, and I thought he might be in attendance, I don't think he might be back on. Just probably because it's went out for completion.
Yeah, and he's got a permit on the permit list too. Yeah.
So he, I can call all of them, just give y'all a follow-up email as to where they all are and decide on maybe government access.
Okay, well, if we go by Friday, we might could get
Oh,
it
yeah,
on.
I'll call them all.
Okay, well,
Does anybody have any thoughts about that before I didn't leave
that would be fine.
I think we ought to be as generous as we can and encourages business. I mean, if you're gonna cut them off and they're not through, that's not encouraging anybody. They're spending a lot of money in town here, and I don't know if we got local people working over to do, but we need to work with them every way we can.
Absolutely agree with that. And what I was gonna say is this right here, if I can get 3 council members to move this as an action item, and we can extend possibly a 120 days extension.
And that's fair.
And I think that would be pretty much fair, because I know in talking with one of them, I know they're like 70% complete. And I know the one on, on Oakland, Avenue Old Snipes, they're pretty much, I would say about 80%. And I don't know what the condition is on 19 by McDonald's. But if I feel like if we can give them that length of time, I feel like they can be compliant. And then this is Ford get in contact with them to verify that, and they know that we can kind of work with them. Everybody agree with that, 3 days? Okay. All right, we'll have that as an action item depending on Mrs. Ford's answer, and we'll move that to an action item on Monday at our council meeting. Okay. All right, council, this will come down to our end of our work session for this evening. Do any of our council members have anything that they would like to share with us tonight, concerns, starting with Ms. Councilwoman Green?
Good.
All right, Councilman Morgan. Councilman Collins. Councilman Maples. Councilman Palmer.
Not at this time.
All right. City Manager, do you have anything? Okay. Also, council meeting, we do have a T-Swash meeting tomorrow at the Region Commissioner House, and it is at 10 a.m. Okay, 10 a.m. So all you council members that can come out, please do so, as well as the citizens as well. Okay. All right, Luke, you have anything for us tonight?
Just one update from one of our engineers on the paving project update in LRA. We're looking at a bid opening of September 17th for that, with the idea of the target date of the project being in November. So just another update on road improvements. That bid opening is next step, and September 17th is our target date for that.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. With there being no other comments or any business handled for tonight, citizens, I want to thank you all for being with us tonight, and council, thank you all once again. I get a motion to adjourn our meeting at this time.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you.